Alright, so just recording something real quick for any team member that's taking hold of the project after May 11th. It's the 12th at the time of this recording, so they're working non-stop. I finally got the programming up and running for level 1. Yeah, and it's working. Looking great. Basically how it works is second gen antihistamine, 18, that is second gen, so health goes up, points go up. We'll probably change the scale, so maybe you start with 30 health and you only get 1 health or something, and you lose 10 for each time it's wrong or something, just to balance it. But tier roll that's not anti-gen is antihistamine, so when that goes in, health goes down, and points don't increase. This is the white pill. The white pill is any of them. The reason why is because the sixth prefab was the white pill that Terra was making, and we just made a prototype to test the color changing mechanic. And so, yeah, these will be replaced with the correct pills later, once she makes the sprite to go over it. In the meantime, they're just kind of random. But yeah, tyrosine health should go up because that's up. Antihistamine, same thing with 18 and 18. Something that will be created in future versions, but definitely not this semester, is the overlapping. The fact that we have pills overlapping each other, that is a problem. That's going to take a whole lot of work that we don't have time for, so we're not dealing with that right now. But in the meantime, we got this, and yeah, the game works. And let me show you a game over. If I can. So that would then spawn the ability to game over. Once again, I was just trying to get it working. Here, I'll just show you later. Yeah, so it goes to the game over screen when health is at 0, basically. So what I want to show you is how to add to it before we start debugging it and fixing it up and prettying it up. So if you want to add pills, which we'll need to in order to complete the catalog, what you'll need to do is see these blank 5, blank 4, blank 1, 3, etc. So blank 1 through 5. What you want to do is you want to, if you want to make a new pill, don't edit these, don't change these. These are very important that these stay the way they are. If you want to make a new pill, what you'll do is you'll drag it over here and drag it back down, and when it does that, you'll click prefab variant, and then that will be the 4th color, the 5th color, whatever the number that corresponds it, color of whatever pill variant you're doing. And then you just do that multiple times for the different versions. Yeah, and so let's say that you're adding Tysine to it. We haven't added Tysine yet. What you would do is you would drag 1 through 5 out here. So we already have 5 out there, so let's do the rest of them. Then what you do is you drag all these back over, and then you'd make, prefab variants, and those would be the 5 different colors of them. Then the 6th one is that white pill that Terra has to make for each of those. Those have not been created yet, so there's no existing prefab. Once you are done, once you have it, so let's do one right here. Prefab variant, this will be for blank prefab 5. Let's rename it test 5, and then prefab. The names are important because there's a naming mechanism. So whatever the name of the pill is the first part, then written out the number between 1 and 6 that corresponds to the prefab that you that are making a variant of, and then the word prefab. Make sure it doesn't say variant at the end. Make sure there's no numbers. Yeah. Once you have that there, then what you do is you click it. You'll see that there's no sprite selected. Then what you want to do is you want to double click on these different folders, which is the art that Tara made. So let's check out Tysine. And then you'd want to drag them over. We'll first have to make it so that the PNGs can be visible. And so in order to make sure that the Unity can understand the PNG, select all of them. Make sure that the texture type is Sprite, 2D, and UI. Make sure it's not the default one. And then make sure that the alpha is transparent. Make sure that one's selected. You should hit apply, and then suddenly they're all usable. And so once that has been done, go back to your test one. Sprite is there, so go back to Tycene and drag it over. And that should be good. Because I made these, because it's a variant of an existing prefab, they should already have the right boxes, the right colliders, the right triggers, right everything. Then what you need to do is go here and select the tag that is being selected for. So in this level, second gen antihistamine is being selected for, so you click it if it is one of those. If it's not one of those, don't click it. In the next level, which will be a new scene, then we change the tags accordingly to uh, to to fit. And yeah, that's how we'd create selection. Okay. Let me delete that prefab. So test by prefab, delete. Cool. Yeah, so that's about it, and that's how to add to it. We'll need to add uh, basically all the different drugs so that we have a large amount to choose from. And just for right now, for the sake of just the minimum viable product, we're just doing the upper respiratory. So yeah, make so aiding tyrosine and tysine get, um, reward the player, and that ephrine and zoline do not. And yeah, so right now we have aiding, tyrosine, and zoline put in. We still need to add tysine and ephrine, and then add a T-roll just because when I was making it, I got confused as to what we were selecting for. I thought we were selecting between upper respiratory and lower respiratory stuff. So you can ignore the T-roll stuff. Um, yeah, so once we add tysine and ephrine, then we can have scene 1 and scene 2. And I think that's good for minimum viable product for level 1. Alright, some other things. Make sure you never ever ever change the z-axis of this because everything's perfectly aligned. I changed the colliders from 2D colliders to 3D colliders just to give us a little bit more flex, also because I know it a little bit better. Um, I added the HUD, make sure that these aren't going anywhere, make sure that the names are consistent. And then if you want to see where the script, where everything's working, the level script, it's called level 1 arrays. It's the one I wrote. Here's all the prefabs that would go into it. And so once you add the prefabs, I'll go in and I'll make it so that they match up here. Okay. Oh yeah, and if you're wondering how this looks in the code, yeah, so it's actually lining up to the name, so make sure that you're getting it exactly right. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's it for right now, and hopefully this helps whoever is working on it within the next week.